Welcome back, everyone, to our deep dive into the myth of the dream job. That idea that your passion should, well, completely fuse with your paycheck. It's a concept that's been sold to us since we were kids.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like being promised a magical career that'll fulfill you on every level, but really, it's often just a corporate marketing trick to keep you working hours that really drain you.
Right. And it's kind of tragic when you hear stories like a friend rage quitting her so called dream job, like as a museum curator, only to realize the reality was 70-hour weeks and barely enough pay to cover living in a big, expensive city.
Yep, exactly. That passion pay gap is a stark reminder that sometimes the very thing they say you're lucky to do is actually exploiting your interest without proper rewards.
Yeah, it's like they say, sure, we can't pay you well, but think of the exposure. And I'm like, exposure doesn't pay the rent,
Absolutely.
right?
Right. And it's not just about being underpaid. It's the whole narrative of mixing your self worth with your job performance. When your job is your identity, then suddenly you're stuck in this vicious cycle of um, burnout and unfulfilling work.
Exactly. And that's why we see this cultural shift where people are starting to reject the 40-hour work week. It's all about lifestyle design now. The idea that your job is just a tool to fund your actual dreams, like reading a book or enjoying some real life outside the grind.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. And speaking of shifting, the concept of the low effort side hustle is super interesting. It's less about living your passion at any cost and more about optimizing for minimal cognitive effort while still earning some cash.
Right. It's like, imagine making a quick 50 quid for just 30 minutes a day. No passion required, no soul draining deadlines, just a strategic little gig that fills the gap.
Definitely. And it's so clever in its simplicity. From automated prompt engineering in the UK to digital product flipping in the US, these are very transactional gigs that, frankly, free up emotional energy for the things that really matter.
Absolutely. It's hilarious in a way, like a so called vibe consultant for a corner shop. Someone auditing a store's aesthetic with lighting, playlist, and shelf placement and charging a fee for it.
Yeah, that's wild. Oh, totally. It really illustrates the shift from the glorification of the so called dream job to just valuing a lifestyle that gives you the freedom to switch off. It's weird, but also incredibly liberating.
Indeed, it's kind of like we're challenging the very idea that work has to be passion fueled. I mean, have you ever thought, what if a job is just a means to an
Uh
end?
huh, for sure. I get that. But I do want to challenge one point here. Some might argue that passion can lead to excellence and innovation. So, isn't there still value in aligning your work with what you love?
That's a fair critique. And yeah, passion can drive you and fuel innovation. But the issue here is how it's often exploited. Rather than empowering employees, employers sometimes use passion as an excuse to underpay and to demand almost soul crushing
Right,
time commitments.
exactly. So it becomes an emotional tax. Essentially, they rely on your deep seated desire to do something meaningful to pay you less, which is hugely unfair.
Right, and it's almost like emotional blackmail masquerading as career advice. Follow your heart and you'll get the dream job. But then they shock you when you realize that the pay doesn't
Yep,
match.
yeah, it's like a trap. And that trap is fueling the rise of these low effort side hustles that remain purely transactional. It's even being embraced by younger generations who are prioritizing lifestyle flexibility over climbing a corporate ladder.
Absolutely. It's a complete rejection of the old game theory, the idea that more hours equal more progress. Now it's quality over quantity, embracing minimal effort for optimal
Right,
gain.
indeed. And that's where that 4 hour work week mindset comes into play, right? Sort of like a modern, practical rebirth of Tim Ferriss's ideas, but on a broader scale for the average person.
Exactly. Though it's not really about working only 4 hours in a week. It's more about optimizing your energy and time so that you're not sacrificing your life for work. Like, why put 40 hours into something that only funds your existence rather than enriches it?
Yeah, that makes total sense. For sure. And it's interesting because these trends are emerging as a form of rebellion. People are pushing back against the myth, the marketing campaign, that their entire identity should be defined by their job title.
Yeah, totally. It's like we need to disconnect identity from occupation and revalue our time. We're saying, I can fund my passions, but I won't let work consume me.
Right on. And what I love is that this conversation forces us to rethink societal values. Should we be glorifying burnout as a badge of honor? It's clearly unsustainable when our dream jobs turn into well-branded prisons.
Exactly. The narrative needs to shift from being lucky to have your passion exploited to simply understanding that work is one part of life, not your entire existence.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, think about it. When we start asking not, what do you want to be, but what kind of life do you want to lead? It reframes everything.
Totally. And that's the cool part. Today's success isn't measured by high status titles, but by flexibility, time off, and the ability to truly enjoy life.
Yeah, that's the truth. So, imagine a world where you only work what you need to ensure your freedom, like those side hustles that are low effort but enough to pay the bills. It's a new kind of dream job, one that doesn't demand your whole identity.
Right. And it's kind of like the ultimate form of optimization. Instead of pouring your soul into a job that gives you barely anything in return, you're using that job to unlock a lifestyle you truly
Correct.
value.
And that's the real wake-up call here. Employers shouldn't be allowed to outsource their responsibility to provide fair wages by exploiting our passion. We deserve a balance where work funds life, not consumes it.
Exactly. And while some might argue that passion at work inspires innovation, the key takeaway is that it should never come at the cost of your well-being.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And as more people begin to reject the traditional dream job narrative, we might see a real cultural shift. A generation that values efficiency and balance over endless hustle.
Right, and it's like a rebellion against the old norms. It's saying, hey, I don't need to bleed for my job. Instead, I choose to invest my energy into things that truly light me up outside of
Exactly.
work.
And I think that's a powerful message. It forces us to question what we really value. Is it the illusion of the dream job, or is it authentic living?
Absolutely. It's a systemic issue, one where the structure of work is designed to keep us in a cycle of burnout. And by embracing these low effort side hustles or flexible work arrangements, we're basically fighting back against a system that exploits us.
Right, yes. It's all about reclaiming your time and freedom. I mean, who wants their identity tied up in a paycheck that doesn't even allow for a decent work-life balance?
Exactly. The takeaway here is clear. Use your job to fund your passions, not to define your entire identity, and never get trapped by the myth that passion alone will pay the
Absolutely.
bills.
Well said. This conversation really challenges the status quo and encourages us all to rethink what true fulfillment means in our work.
Definitely. And we hope this sparks even more dialogue around how we as a society can cultivate a healthier relationship with work. Remember, break free from the myth, reclaim your time, and design a lifestyle that truly works for you.
Yep, exactly. That wraps it up for today. Thanks for tuning in and questioning the idea of the dream job with us. Keep challenging the norms, and may your work truly fund your life rather than define it.